Cheyenne says hello. Hi, DFFitFam. Cheyenne, you gonna say hello to the people? No, she's just gonna rub me and say hello. All right, so hi guys. This is gonna be another case of Ray's just sort of going to wing this. I personally am taking a rest day today. So, and what that looks like for me is I am going to smash. So I have a barbell here, and I was like, I've been listening to podcasts all morning and a lot lately. And let me adjust this. I have a GoPro and I really need to start using it and figuring out how to use it rather than just setting up my phone. Anyways, so what my rest day looks like today is I was going to do the final conditioning / skill piece on Jakara's Fit. I have it written down in my journal, and I was telling myself I'm going to do this as my warm-up. I'm going to take it easy. I'm not going to push it. This will be a good active recovery. But I know I'm jumping all over the place with this. So I had just said I was listening to a bunch of podcasts, and I'm going to kind of talk about what I've been listening to and then my own thoughts kind of on some of the topics that have been addressed in those. One of which I had posted about last week was from the Movement Fix, and it was an old episode, just I'm catching up on things and listening to things that I need to listen to right now. But one of the things that they had talked about in that podcast was the importance of recovery days, and how recovery days aren't just sitting on the couch watching Netflix. Like, a good recovery day is mobility, is stretching, is light cardio activity where you're moving but not pushing the pace. And what usually ends up happening for most of us is that if we go to do a recovery day or a light recovery day, because we are people who are motivated and we're driven, our recovery days end up becoming another training day, which defeats the purpose. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute and why I'm going about doing what I'm doing today. But I'm doing a video because as I'm smashing, it's extremely unpleasant, but needs to be done, and so that you can see that I'm practicing what I preach and doing this right alongside with you guys. So I'm going to start with my calves on the barbell, and I'm going to use the timer up top. So I've already just talked for 3 minutes about who knows what. So to catch you up to speed, or if you're just stumbling across me for the first time and giving this a listen, first off, thank you and welcome. My name is Ray. I am the founder, owner, and programmer for Jakara's Fit, which is an online comprehensive strength and conditioning program that's hosted on Beyond the Whiteboard. So that's an app and a website. So you can use whatever your preferred mode of logging and checking workouts is. And I can geek out about Beyond the Whiteboard another day in another post if you would like. So I do the programming for Jakara's Fit Monday through Friday. And that's honestly just for ease of programming. It's easy to look at that way. And within that, right, you can adjust that to be however you need. So and the 2 days of rest I feel are very important. The concept of rest days and recovery days, everybody needs time off. We love to say no days off, go every day. However, any good coach, any great training program will tell you that the work that you do in the gym is where you are breaking down and conditioning your body. But in order to see the results of that breakdown, your body needs to heal. Healing means off time. Healing means recovering. Now that can look like a lot of different things for a lot of different people, and it depends who you are and where you're at. And then also how many days off you need is just going to be very personal. So when I program Monday through Friday, it's just for ease of, one, on my programming end, looking at everything. I know that not everybody is working out Monday through Friday, and I don't recommend that for most people, because 5 days in a row of training, come Friday, kind of regardless of what you've done during the week, you're going to be tired, you're going to be sore, your central nervous system is going to be fatigued, your metabolism is going to be fatigued, your joints are going to be sore. Now sometimes because of our schedules we can't help that, but I program knowing that more than likely you are taking a day off during the week, and then on Saturday or Sunday kind of using that as a catch-up day or a makeup day. So that being said, again, to kind of catch you up on my personal story and journey through this. So starting on January 1st of this year, 2019, I have been doing Jakara's Fit programming. I am a product of my own training. I am a product of my own programming. And I mean, honestly, like, I love that. I love doing this alongside you guys. I love doing it with you, showing you how effective it can be. So I'm in my own example of this program works. I think my favorite example of this was been doing my programming, including the home workouts, moving from the United States to Germany, so without access to a gym for 2 to 3 months in that time frame, and getting back into the swing of things with CrossFit and with my programming, doing it here at home. So for the first month after moving in, after the household goods had arrived, didn't have a squat rack, so any barbell movements I was doing was from the ground. And let's see, April, so then in May I got the squat rack, so it was kind of back into full-fledged conditioning. And at the end of May, I PR'd Murph in a 20-pound vest by a couple minutes, I believe. So just, again, sticking to consistency over time is the most important thing, no matter what your goals are, right? And then at the end of June, because I am klutzy and the most unathletic athletic person you will ever meet, I suffered a really severe hand injury. So then since June, I have been either modifying the workouts, trying to work my way back into it, and then 2 weeks ago kind of being told, look, your hand is never going to completely heal if you don't let it heal, so stop using it. And that was kind of, I guess maybe a rude awakening is probably the way to put it, because my goal was to be doing the open scaled for the Open 2020, which is coming up in October. Really wanted to be able to do it. Let's get back to doing push-ups. Let's get back to doing snatches, things that were aggravating and hurting my hands. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do it at RX weights, but let me knock down my goals to doing it scaled. And then that kind of went out the window. And how that relates to whatever it is that your goals are, whatever the case may be. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to get stronger, if you're trying to just get back in the routine of working out. Things happen, life happens, accidents happen, life situations, right? Work demands, family demands change, location changes, whatever the case may be. And the goals that you were looking towards accomplishing by a certain date, a certain deadline, aren't going to happen. And you have to adjust, right? Adjust your sails, change course. For me personally, and I've been giving this advice to other people in a couple different groups that I'm in when they talk about injuries, allow yourself to grieve that process. I know it sounds absolutely silly to say that, right? Because it's like, maybe somebody died in your case, my condolences, but it's like, no, nobody died. What are you grieving? Well, in going after our goals and pursuing our goals, if there are things that you want to accomplish and you own them, it can be hard to let that go. So you have to go through the process of like, be frustrated, be angry, be upset, and let it all out. But the key is once you let it out, let it go, right? And adopt the approach of, I'm doing this now and it sucks and I'm scaling it, or this isn't what I wanted to be working on at this point in time, but it's what I have to. But knowing that you're playing it safe and smart for the long run. So temporary goals are good. You have to have a reason for why you're training. Why are you working out every day? If you don't have that, it's easy to come up with excuses why you don't need to get out of bed this morning, right? I'm not really working towards anything and there's no reason, so why should I push myself to do it? And so adjusting then those goals when you were set on something, right? It's frustrating. So to bring it back around to me and my issues, I kind of grieved that for a moment. Really wanted to be able to participate in the open, but I also really want to have CrossFit be my lifelong sport. I love it. I love teaching people how to do it. I love helping people celebrate their own successes and accomplishments in this sport. And I like setting the example of being able to do a lot of these things. Whether or not I'm the best athlete in the room, I don't care, but I like being able to do these things alongside you. And I'm never going to be able to do that unless I actually heal my hand up. Thought about, okay, well, let's focus on running. I've also done that before, right? So I've done 2 marathons. I was exclusively a runner for about 1.5 years. And I did CrossFit simultaneously with marathon training. And my cat is trying to be a super friend. This shows you how little I sit. That where I'm sitting on the ground rolling out my cat's like, oh my gosh, do I get to sit on your lap? Hi, I'm going to be moving. You know that, right? No, she doesn't care. So I decided, well, okay, I can't be deadlifting. I can't be doing anything overhead with my hands. Pressing the barbell hurts. Cleaning it's okay. I can't thruster it. Well, I can squat. Back squatting doesn't hurt because I don't have to be in a front rack position. I can kind of monkey palm the bar and lock it into place. Thank God for my man traps to set the bar up there. Squatting is what I can do. Okay, well, if I just look at my Dracarys Fit programming every day and sub in some sort of squats for whatever I'm doing, that will be fine. But I had done that for June, July, and August. And I felt not directionless, but like floating out in the sea of nowhere. So as I'm programming for you guys and I'm moving you just towards gaining strength and different goals, right? You're not squatting every day. You're doing different variations of the different lifts. And for me to be subbing in squats every day for all that, it gets old. And you need variety in your lifting. And again, working towards something, whatever that something may be. So since I've done the running thing, I'm like forever cutting, right? And watching my macros and counting calories. Well, not calories, but macros, right? And I'm like, you know, this is the perfect opportunity for me to work on getting stronger, do something different, do something I haven't done. So what I'm personally working towards right now, I started the small off squat cycle last week, so I'm coming towards the end of week 2. And with that, I'm massing, muscle gain. And I honestly can't wait to write about that and my journey with that, because it has already been so freeing for me, and it's exciting in a way. And it's just kind of changed my perspective on some different things. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. But in the meantime, that being said, I already really do miss doing the Dracarys Fit workouts alongside you guys. I'm still, being your coach and cheering for you, so keep logging your workouts if you do them, and I love helping you through that, and just know that I'm jealous that you guys are doing that. And just hopefully, I will be back eventually doing this alongside you guys. And then also, that being said, so as I went to go make that decision, since I have adopted this mentality of practicing what I preach and being the living example of my programming and my workouts and this being effective, before I decided that, okay, this is the path that I'm going to take for the next couple months, I felt a lot of guilt. And I don't know, maybe it's a female thing, right? That's been hardwired in me to feel guilty about every decision I make ever, whether it's parenting, working from home, working away from home, and I'm just also super self-conscious and conscious of these decisions. And then I was like, I don't know that anybody particularly cares. Not to say you guys don't care about me, but I also want to show you guys too that I truly believe in my mentality with Dracarys Fit, with your 5 days a week of programming and workout options, that I believe and sincerely mean that you can use this program however you need to use it. So whether you're doing 1 or 3 of my workouts 5 days a week, or you're using it once a month, if it's helping you live a better life, to live a healthier life, making healthier decisions, getting you outside, being more active with your kids, being more active with your family, bringing people to the gym with you to do, let's go try this workout together. I don't want to do it by myself. I support that 1,000%. And when things come up in your life, like, an injury or an illness or time constraints, and you have to switch course, you have other goals that you have to go after, 1,000%, I am behind you for that. And so that's that. And so that too, whatever those goals are, like, you can reach out to me and we can talk about it, and I can help you get there to the best that I'm able to do that and support you for that. So I'm always here for you. All right, bring that around to what I'm doing to my legs and why. So back to the idea of the recovery days then, right? Again, taking off when you need off, and what does it mean to be an active recovery day, and how well do you know yourself when it comes to that? So I wanted to do the conditioning, cardio, gymnastic skill work today, and then the landlord showed up, and I don't like being active when they're here because I never know when they're gonna ring the doorbell and want to talk to me. So I worked, but I'm like, okay, cool, let me do this. I 1,000% know though that I cannot go into any sort of workout like that on my own, left to my own devices, without turning it into a training day. And I trained the past 3 days, and I know that what my body needs today is active resting recovery. So to get back to what I had talked about at the beginning of my chat here in the One Movement and Fix podcast, where they talked about recovery days and what that should look like, it should include a cardio component of some sort. So for me, a lot of times that's walking. For you, that could be easy rowing on the machine. If you have an exercise bike, like doesn't matter what kind, just going easy, getting your blood flowing for a little bit, getting your body warm. Hiking, going out for a bike ride outside, however that looks like for you. Something where you are moving, getting your blood flowing, but you don't have the timer on. You're not doing a set distance for time. You're not going as far as you can in a certain amount of time. You're not doing 200 calories as fast as possible on the rower. You are just doing it like naked, right? So I love that term. I used to use it when I was running consistently, and like naked running is when you don't have your Garmin on, you're not tracking your time, you're not doing intervals, you're not doing repeats, you're just doing it to do it. Now, a recovery day for you could be a run. You could go for a 3-mile run, and that could be easy for you depending on maybe you're a marathon runner and you're really good, you're a BQ, and so a 5-mile run without tracking it is relaxing and easy on your body. That's totally fine. It could also be a 1-mile walk is what's an easy day for you. Totally fine. Whatever it is that you need to do where you're not going to break out in too much of a sweat or put too much pressure on yourself to perform, do that. And if you know that you'll have the temptation to do more, don't do that. And then, as far as what your body, your muscles, and your joints need for active recovery, so I am blessed that I have my home gym, and that's what I should talk about, is why you should start investing in a home gym and have some equipment at home. But if you don't, if you have the self-control to go to a gym without working out, grab a barbell, and so this is called like bone sawing and smashing. It is the next level up from foam rolling because you have a smaller point of pressure, so you can kind of dig into those muscles more. That might be something that your muscles need from you, just kind of break up that scar tissue. And if your muscles don't need that kind of attention, and you need to do something like a yoga class or an online yoga video, I actually have a DVD that I'm going to go do after this. So, and you can combine that in any way that you need. I like to smash my muscles first, break up some of the fascia and the scar tissue before I go ahead and do something like a yoga or range of motion type video, because it just feels better to me, because this is not enjoyable, this hurts, and then yoga is kind of more of a mindful, enjoyable experience. It could be something like a massage that you actually go and get from somebody, or you do like the floating pod thing, or you go and use a sauna, which there's been some really cool research out recently about the effects of like 170-degree sauna. So if you have access to one of those wherever you're training, I recommend you do that. And not working out in the sauna, just relaxing in the sauna. And on your recovery days, I think this is something that I had read in a Catalyst Athletics article, I believe, that where they talked about recovery and rest days don't mean that you were eating pizzas, which is hard because since you're not training, you have more time where you might want to be comfort eating, but it's on your recovery days that your nutrition is kind of the most important, because your muscles are really rebuilding and recovering from all the strain that you've put on them in the previous couple days. So dialing in your nutrition on your recovery days, do it. And whatever that looks like for you, whether you're doing a macro counting program or you're, you know, just focusing on fruits and vegetables, and your protein, whatever your protein source is, do that. Dial it in. So that's that. I do recommend, so like I said, I program Monday through Friday for you guys. Depending on where you're at in your fitness journey, you might need to do a 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off. You could get away with 3 days on, 1 day off. That works for some people. You could do a 2 on, 1 off. However, 1 fits your schedule and 2 fits your body. And I know that's a confusing statement because there are days where you need to train despite how your body feels, right? So you're tight, you're tired, you're sore, but you need to get your training done today. Sometimes that's beneficial. If you are not getting through the rest of your life's daily tasks well, then you might need to reconsider. But, yeah, that's that. So, hopefully you picked up something helpful from this for you. Foam roll, right? Walking on your days off, take your days off as needed. If you kind of need more help or guidance on what to do or ideas or suggestions, again, always reach out. You can hit me up at jacarasfit@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Don't use Facebook Messenger because I don't know that I get the Jacaras Fit messages through there. Honestly, like Instagram and Twitter are kind of a better way to get a hold of me. I'm also on WhatsApp if you have my phone number. And yes, there's that. So, thank you for being my super friend during my bone sawing session here. Questions, comments, concerns, ideas, topics that you want me to talk about in the future, let me know. Subscribe, follow, like, share. Check out the website, jacaras.fit. If you haven't lately, spread the word, tell your friends, bring a friend with you to the gym. I should be getting some free workouts up there soon. That's been on my to-do list all week. But you can find some free sample workouts both here on YouTube and over on the website and on Instagram and on Facebook. So that's that, guys. Keep up the great work. I'm very proud of every single one of you that's been getting after the workouts. I love seeing your progress, love seeing your comments. So yeah, stay on it, and Jacaras.